Hey, Jess.
What's up, man?
I'm just so tired today. I just don't know what to do. Instead of doing the show, can we just, take a nap?
You know, I'm always down for a nap.
Sweet. How about you, Mario? You want to take a nap?
Yeah.
What? Wait. Mario's been dead for 20 episodes.
You want to take a nap on this episode, huh? You're already asleep.
Freddy Krueger?
That's right, boys. No break for you today. Today, you get to play my game.
No!
So, as people may or may not have figured out from our amazing intro, we are doing Nightmare on Elm Street today.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
Very scary.
And today we also have a guest. The guest that we were technically supposed to have had on for the Legacy of the Wizard episode and goofed that one up. Paul from What's Paul Playing Today.
Hey, folks.
Hey.
How's it going, Paul?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. It's a good day.
Is it? That's good. You're not still mad at us, are you?
No, I wasn't mad to begin with, man. You're the one who got all upset about it.
Okay, I did. I cried myself to sleep, so. But no worries, no worries.
Nah, not at all.
So, Paul, would you tell people just a quick little blip about your show, and then we'll come back to it at the end?
Oh, sure. So, essentially, it's literally a show about me playing games for my own entertainment, and hopefully yours as well. I go live stream all kinds of stuff. Recently, I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 2 and Fallout in preparation for Fallout 4, which I'm going to probably live stream the whole thing. Hopefully.
Nice.
Wow, cool. Yeah. What about...
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that game.
Yeah.
What's up?
What about Nightmare
I
on
said
Elm
I'm pretty
Street?
excited about that one.
I have no idea what
All
you
right.
just said. Sorry.
Sorry, we must have a little bit of a lag here. I said I'm pretty excited about Fallout 4.
I'm
Justin
stoked.
said, what about Nightmare on Elm Street?
I couldn't beat it. I got really close, but it's one of those Nintendo hard games that you've got to adjust to LJN's crap factor.
Yeah.
It's an LJN game. You've got to adjust to it, and then eventually, once you do, you're like, yeah, this is a pretty okay game, and then you die, and die, and die.
Yeah. So, speaking of LJN, Justin, do you have any history about LJN?
I do. So, Nightmare
We're
on...
gonna. By the way, we're gonna just gloss right over the usual YouTube football talk because I don't want to talk about it.
Oh. Just more depression. More depression.
Yep. So, history of Nightmare on Elm Street.
So, Nightmare on Elm Street was a game loosely based on the movie by the same name. Never heard of the movie, actually.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
And I would say loosely based, as in suspenders versus belt, in the way it makes your pants feel.
Okay. That's a pretty good analogy.
I can dig it.
Yeah, okay. So, LJN was the publisher of this game, but it was actually developed by a different company. Anybody know what company actually developed this game?
I do not.
It was
Is
actually...
this part of the quiz game?
I didn't make a quiz game.
Return of the quiz game?
I didn't make a quiz game. I didn't think about it, but it was just a little snippet quiz question. It was actually
Okay.
developed by Rare, which I was actually kind of
Really?
surprised. Because the game pretty much sucked. But
It makes a little bit of sense, but I'll talk about that when we talk about the gameplay.
But anyway, maybe I kind of gave my opinion about it, but too early. But anyway, but it was published by LJN. LJN, of course, got all the movie franchises, it seems. They also developed Friday the 13th, which they also did not develop that game. They just published it as well. and that was released a year earlier. And a lot of people said that there's a lot of similarities between these two games. And
similarities between our two shows, too, because our show about Friday the 13th was released a year earlier.
On Halloween. That's right.
This is getting weird.
Mm-hmm.
Solid.
So it was released in October of 1990, and one aspect about this game that many other NES games did not have was a 4-player mode, which is pretty cool, I guess. I've never played the 4-player mode, but
I haven't either.
you can, using an NES Satellite or NES Foursquare, use a 4-player mode. But one thing about this game is it was changed for some reason. According to Nintendo Power, the original game, you weren't going to be the teenagers, you were going to be Freddy Krueger. And you were trying to kill the teenagers before they got all of your bones. So,
Well, fun fact about that.
the original synopsis was read, "You are Freddy Krueger. A horde of obnoxious teenagers is trying to get rid of you by finding your scattered bones and burying them. The only way to stop them is to kill them. You can travel along Elm Street, through the electrical and plumbing lines, or step into a mirror and step in another room. The kids have weapons to battle you with, and some of them even possess powerful dream alter egos. But if you can strike before they wake, they'll trouble you no more. So sharpen your finger razors and get ready to slash, 'cause Freddy's here." And
Sweet.
that version of the game was actually canceled because they figured it would be kind of controversial. I guess if you're running around trying to kill teenagers, maybe that wouldn't go over so well. I don't know, in the video game world.
At the time,
At the
probably
time.
not.
At the
Although,
Yeah.
Tangent, have you guys heard about the Friday the 13th game?
I was just about to
Coming
mention
out?
that. I'm excited about that. It's a fun looking game. Have you seen the videos for it?
No, I haven't watched the videos. I just heard about it
Oh, they're
just yesterday,
sweet.
actually. It looks pretty cool because it's online, 8 players. One player is Jason, and the rest of the players are campers.
Yep.
But it looks pretty sweet.
They showed one of the videos from the dev team doing it, and 2 of the devs were trying to get the boat started. 2 of them were actually in the boat. 2 others were running down the dock. The problem is you can only fit 2 people in the boat, and Jason was right behind them. So like, nope, we're out. And they just took the boat and just amscrayed. It was great.
But this their decision to cancel it was probably a pretty good idea, because apparently a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game was released for the Atari 2600 where you were the murderer, and it was pretty much a failure because many people refused to sell it. So, anyway.
Refused to sell. Oh, stores refused to sell it. I got you.
It was banned in most stores and
Yeah.
sold poorly. It was also an objectively terrible game.
Yeah. Also, in this game, obviously, it didn't get a lot of great reviews. But one thing that we'll talk about a little bit when we get to the gameplay is the music. And the music was actually created by David Wise of Wizards and Warriors. One of my personal favorites, Anticipation.
Wizards and Warriors. Sorry.
Anticipation.
Hey, you did that on that episode, and for some reason it's got stuck in my head ever since.
Yeah. Okay. Those songs from Anticipation are still stuck in my head years later. But he did Battletoads, a lot of other very popular games, even popular soundtracks. So, anyway, Michael, did you have this game?
No, I did not have this game. I've actually never had this game. I was not able to pick it up. But this is kind of a short show recording, so I actually didn't have time to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually played the demo version, air quotes.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't play this on the actual cartridge. Did you have it, Justin? I'm guessing you didn't.
No.
This doesn't sound like a game you would have.
No, I didn't have the game. And interestingly enough, did you watch this movie as a kid?
No, I never really watched this movie as a kid either.
No. See, I was kind of... I was kind of a big chicken. I didn't like horror movies when I was a kid. And, of course, I was really young when this movie came out. So, yeah, it was pretty much an off-limits movie. I think I've probably seen it later on, but definitely not.
I watched it later. I watched it much later on, and, you know, it was okay. But I was more of a Friday the 13th fan myself. Mm-hmm. I kind of, for some reason in my head, the movies have always been like rivals to each other, and so for some reason I felt like I had to pick my favorite, even though I could technically like them both if I wanted to. But
then there was that culmination of the rivalry with Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah,
I heard that movie's actually pretty good.
It was pretty decent, actually.
Yeah, I did.
They got some cool alternate endings.
I did actually see that movie, and I thought it was pretty good too. But the original Nightmare.
I got a quiz for you guys.
The original Nightmare on Elm Street was a Wes Craven movie. Mm-hmm. So, you know.
Does that make it good?
Well, Wes Craven's pretty popular.
He's the master of horror, after all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Recently passed away.
What big star was in A Nightmare on Elm Street?
I think Johnny Depp was in the first one, wasn't he? Or the second one, maybe?
That's right. He was in the first one.
Huh. I did not know that. I knew he was like in Platoon earlier in his career, but I didn't know about
I know he was in Platoon.
Yeah, he's in Platoon.
There's a lot of people in Platoon.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's in Platoon.
Yeah, so.
I'm sure Samuel L. Jackson's in there somewhere.
Of course. He's in every movie. Right?
What were we talking about? I got distracted.
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
We're playing the Platoon game for NES?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome, actually. I'm down for that.
Wonder why that was never made.
Paul, they actually did make it, I think.
Yep.
They did?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's not
it was
an
terrible.
LJN game, is it?
It's not. Okay. It's not. But it was made, I promise.
Okay.
So, did you have this game, Paul? The cart?
As a kid?
Find it anywhere?
Yeah, I actually owned this one and Friday the 13th.
Big horror guy yourself?
No, not at all. My folks were a horror family, and they ended up buying both the games for me because reasons. I'm really not sure why.
They wanted to play them, or wanted to watch you play them. Maybe
it's
possible.
You to stay up all night and have nightmares. You will watch this movie.
Pretty much.
That's funny. So there you go. I didn't have it. Justin didn't have it. Paul had it, but I'm guessing because you were doing it. I don't know if you did it on your show or not, but
I did.
I don't really know. You probably didn't play the NES version for your show. I don't know if you normally do that.
I unfortunately, it's extremely difficult to hook up a console to a capture card and then hook up the capture card to the PC. So no, I played the demo version like you did, but I do own the card. It's on my shelf over there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we can start talking about the game. I honestly, normally we talk about memories of playing it as a kid, so I guess I want to just quickly say I was honestly impressed in that I thought it was going to be worse than it actually was. But then I'd like to turn it over to you, Paul, and tell me what your experience was playing it as a kid.
As a kid, I honestly don't have very many memories except pure anger, mostly because it's an LJN game. They're generally kind of crappy, and you have to adjust to that crap factor level. And as a kid, I had it when I was really young, so I was just like, this is a terrible game. It's just Haunted House. So I set it aside for better things and just kept the cartridge for over the years because I'm a freaking pack rat.
Yeah, hey, that's all right. It probably turned out to be pretty beneficial nowadays as far as the games go.
Yeah.
So, Justin, I didn't ever even rent this either. Did you ever rent it?
No. Like I said, when I was a kid, I was not much of a horror guy. A lot of kids liked horror movies. I remember, on the playground, people talking about Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, but I was a big chicken. I didn't watch horror, so I didn't play the games either, because I was just like, I'm not scaring myself like that. And still to this day, I'm kind of like that. Now, I'll watch a horror movie nowadays, but it's like, I'm not a big fan. But, I played this game, and when I first started playing it, I was like... So, the first, just right off the bat, you get the snakes, and it's a side-scroller, and it looks and feels just like Friday the 13th. And I was like...
It does, kind of,
I was like, oh, gosh, here we go. But as I played it, there's more aspects to this game than Friday the 13th had. Friday the 13th seemed to have just I don't know. There wasn't much to Friday the 13th, but I thought there was a lot more to this game than Friday the 13th, which I'll give props to Rare for that, not LJN.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. When you said it was developed by Rare instead of I guess whoever LJN's typical person is, whether it be themselves or somebody.
Atlas, usually.
Yeah. I thought it kind of made sense, just because it plays a little more fluidly than the other LJN games that I've played recently. I don't know how you feel about that, Paul, but I just felt like this was one of the, even though it's still an LJN game and it's still not great, it's one of the better LJN games, I would say.
I agree. It's got some decently tight controls for an LJN game, which is saying a lot. When you said it reminded me of Friday the 13th, I think the only thing that it has over Friday the 13th is the fact that you aren't throwing rocks over the heads of zombies. That was one of the worst things.
Yeah. No, you're punching snakes in the face in this.
Yeah,
which is why this has got to be the hardest person in the world to punch a snake to death. Come on.
Well, and not just any snake.
Snakes, bats.
This is pretty much like, not many snakes can stand on, like, I don't know what you call that, but when a snake like stands,
they can't arch themselves up.
Only like a cobra can do that.
Yeah, it's like a cobra.
So you're just punching cobras in the face.
Yeah,
and bats and all kinds of weird creatures.
Punching bats, punching zombies. Eventually, you punch skulls with ear flaps that use for wings. It's just weird.
Now,
yeah. So the character in this game he's pretty tough.
Yeah, he's kind of a BA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention in history, that in 2013 the Nintendo Entertainment Collectibles came out with an 8-bit figurine of Freddy Krueger. So, and they also came out with Jason Voorhees too for both games. But I thought that was pretty interesting. It's like the what am I trying to say? Usable amiibo.
Yeah.
Just a collectible.
It doesn't have DLC on it.
Yeah.
No DLC on that one? Okay.
Did Jason have the purple jumpsuit as opposed to his regular clothing?
I don't know. I'll have to look that up. I'm going to look it up right now.
Because let's be honest here, that's kind of ridiculous, that purple jumpsuit.
Right. I think
At least Freddy looked like Freddy.
I kind of like the purple jumpsuit. Because they use purple for black in these games.
Yeah,
yeah. Because purple's, I guess, makes it easier to see.
Yeah, it's easier to see the background.
You don't want a black guy on the... Whoa. I mean, you may want a black guy, but you don't want a guy in a black suit.
Yeah. He blends into the environment, and in fact, every reason that you wear that stuff in horror movies is every reason you don't want them for a video game.
So while you're looking that up, Justin, I got a little something else for us.
It appears he is in the purple jumpsuit.
That's awesome.
And I hope
you're
about the manual.
Nice.
Yes. Now,
that's right.
What I read in the history version was what was supposed to be in the manual. So now I'm very interested to see what.
So let's find out what's actually in the manual. Let's see. Safety tips.
Safety tips.
The usual.
Yeah, the usual safety tips. Don't clean with benzene.
Because everybody has benzene just, laying around the house.
Yeah.
But do you not?
Can you get my benzene?
Maybe they did back then.
Hey, honey, can you get my benzene, please?
Okay. Uh-oh. Trouble. Something frightening has happened on Elm Street lately. Each walking day heralds the discovery of another neighborhood teen that has passed away in the dark stillness of the night. Everyone says it's natural causes, but it's almost as if something, or maybe someone, has been picking them off one by one as they sleep. It's a horrible nightmare come true, and this one has a name. Freddy Krueger. Trademark. It's up to you and your remaining friends to search Elm Street for his scattered bones and throw them all into the high school furnace. Wait a minute. Why does this high school have a furnace?
I think that
It might be an old high
I
school.
think that was actually something that was pretty
I would like to keep for heat.
popular.
Yeah.
For heat. I got you. I was just thinking like furnace for burning bones because it doesn't have to be
You're
super
talking
hot.
about like
No, I imagine it works like a boiler.
incinerator, like a
Yeah,
cremator.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
those things
Well,
actually
isn't that
do
for
burn
cremation?
at an
Is it-
extremely high temperature. It's like insane.
Yeah, isn't that
Yeah,
how they
I know.
killed him in the film as well?
actually, yeah,
it
maybe.
is. Yeah.
So, wow, very accurate game here.
At least semi-accurate.
Yeah. Let's see. If you can just stay awake long enough, you might end Freddy Krueger's reign of terror for good. But you'd better hurry. It's getting late, and you can feel those eyelids getting heavier and heavier with each passing minute. Dun dun dun. So, a word about 3 or 4 players. You can play with 3 or 4 players. If you don't have it, 2 characters won't be controllable. So, I guess they still put 4 in there, regardless of whether you're playing. If you play 1 player, you're 1 player. But if you play 2 through 4, then they stick 4 on screen. I don't know. I hadn't tried it,
Yeah,
so.
I don't
I haven't either.
But it's saying if you don't have it, 2 of the characters won't be controllable. Not that 2 of the characters won't be there.
Well,
So I don't
it
know.
says they won't be controllable, but you just don't play them because if you're 1 player on the screen, you're 1 player on the screen. There's no 4 players; they're just not there. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird
I think
phrasing.
maybe they're just phrasing it weird, yeah. Because I can't imagine they would stick 4 characters on the screen and then you just like walk off and leave them.
They're bait.
I'd be okay with
They're
that.
bait for Freddy.
Yeah, you use them as bait.
Heck with you guys, I'm out.
The law of nature, as long as you're faster than
That's
everybody
right.
else. Buildings and such. I like that. Buildings and such.
Oh, so these snakes are actually Freddy snakes.
I see. The picture shows them as Freddy snakes.
That's just really disturbing.
He's a Freddy snake in Freddy versus Jason too.
One of the movies he turns into a Freddy snake.
Yeah.
All right. There's the dream meter. Okay, so I didn't really understand the dream meter. Did you guys understand that? Does it just always tick down no matter what?
It always ticks down no matter what, and once you get down to the end, see, there's a weird thing where you can only take 4 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Once you hit 4 times, you're dead. You can also grab some coffee to perk yourself up. You can. It's essentially once you get down to dream mode, which I don't know why you'd want to leave dream mode, but I don't know if you guys want to get into that later or
Yeah.
what. But
Yeah. No. Go ahead. I mean,
Well,
it's
okay, once you're in dream mode, you can become one of the 3 other personas:
Mm-hmm.
the athlete, the necromancer, or the shadow warrior.
Which is a throwback to like the 3rd movie, the Dream Warriors.
Yeah.
the Dream Warriors. There you go.
Why would you not want to be them? Why would you want to be awake and just be some dude who walks around punching things? You get projectiles with the other 3.
Yeah. It's an I don't know.
Yeah. I
Shadow
don't know.
Warrior.
It's Shadow Warrior, the ninja.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would make sense if you couldn't die in the day
Mm-hmm.
world or something, or if there weren't bad guys in the day world or something.
Yeah. It would be a lot better, but at the same time, it's just... I'm going to go around punching snakes that have Freddy's face on them. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a BA.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking that it would have made more sense, and this is not the way it is for people who are listening, so who haven't played the game. But it would have made more sense to me if the daytime awake world was maybe nothing but platforming. There's no snakes and bats and stuff.
Sure.
And then when you run out of daytime or when you fall asleep, then all the enemies appear.
Absolutely.
would make more
Makes
sense.
But
total
that's not
sense.
the way. That's not the way the game works.
No, not at all.
That's not the way the game works.
So,
So that would entice you to stay awake, right? Because
Yeah.
Then you can avoid bad guys.
did you guys have trouble entering buildings?
Yes. What? I guess once I found the ones you could enter, then
Right.
I didn't have
So-
trouble.
So I had trouble because you have to hold up. Guys, if you end up playing this game, please, when you're trying to enter the building, hold the up button for a few seconds as opposed to just tapping it. Otherwise, you won't actually enter the building, and you'll just be sitting there walking around trying to figure out why you can't enter buildings.
And yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
So
Those are some
I didn't know that acrobats...
Some 80s panties there.
I didn't know that acrobats participated in javelin, but I guess they do.
They do.
If you can't beat them, dodge them.
Olympic acrobat.
What's with the unitard?
That's...
I kind of like the unitard.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Look, what about his shoes? What are those, elf shoes? Like they turn up at the top.
They look like it, don't they?
Yeah,
Maybe they're Chucks that just didn't lace all the way.
maybe.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe those are his socks, and he's just got fancy socks.
Fancy socks?
Like a fancy frilly socks.
Fancy socks.
Like Christmas socks?
Maybe they're
Halloween
sweat socks or something.
Whoa, necromancer.
Necromancer's sweet as heck.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
Although she's wearing an outfit that's got a bunch of space stuff on it,
She's a wizard. Thank you
like
very much.
Saturn and the moon
Well,
and stars.
It's supposed to be the planets aligning or some stuff. I don't know. We'll just go with
Isn't
it.
that what wizards are supposed to
Now,
wear?
were these things in the movie?
I think, Justin, you said Nightmare on Elm Street 3 had the
Yes,
personas?
the Nightmare on 3. I think the title of the movie is actually Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors or something. I just read, I haven't seen the movie,
Gotcha.
but I remember reading last
haven't
night
either.
when I was reading about this game and stuff, that it said that this was a throwback to the third movie. And then I looked up the title of the third movie is Dream Warriors. So
That sounds like a ridiculous movie. If
I
they
agree.
actually go in there and become ninjas
Yeah.
and stuff.
I don't think it was one of the popular
Sounds
ones.
ridiculous. I kind of want to see it now.
This was after Wes Craven only did like the first one and then one in the 90s. So he didn't do that one. His hands are clean from that.
Which Dream Warrior was your favorite in the game?
Well, in
Either
the
one.
game, the Necromancer was pretty cool. But after seeing that picture of the acrobat, I'm leaning towards acrobat. Just because of how he's dressed.
Yeah. I actually like the acrobat. I actually like the acrobat in the game, and I like him even more now that he's got the
Right.
unitard.
The Shadow Warrior was the best for most of the bosses, though, if only because of the flying kick, which kind of renders you invincible if you hit the enemies properly.
Yes, I didn't try that.
Oh man, for the flying bosses, he was the best, hands down.
And that's also...
See, I just like the acrobat because he flipped and he had the javelin.
Yep.
I like that. It was a good.
Still
projectile,
confused
the
about the javelin.
Well, you know, just go with it.
Go with it. Yeah.
You're just supposed to go with
You
it.
do realize that it's just a dream,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on. Don't ask questions.
Uh,
Coffee.
Help. Coffee or the radio? The coffee keeps you from going to sleep. The radio wakes
Yep.
you up.
And in the levels, as you're going through, if you notice where you're awake, the coffee will be, and if you go to sleep, the radio is going to be where the coffee is.
Oh.
Yeah, they're in the same place.
Yeah,
They just
makes
kind of
sense.
swapped them out.
Yeah, cool.
The serious sounds from this boombox will snap you back to the waking
It's
world.
serious sounds. I like it.
Yeah, if this game was made today, coffee would be replaced with like Monster Energy or something.
Or cocaine, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah, or meth.
Does meth keep you awake?
Yeah. For
I think
days.
so. I wouldn't
like
know.
days.
I don't know either. I just know the cocaine by reputation.
Yeah, I think meth is like...
I'm pretty sure meth keeps you awake for like
yeah,
a
it
week
keeps
at a
you
time.
awake for like days. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, all right then.
And you also carry your children out into the woods and drop them off and just leave them because you think some fairy told you to.
Well,
or something,
because
you know.
Freddy
It's-
Krueger told you to.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Well, it's got dark really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, and by kids I mean your meatloaf that you made. You know, it's not really kids.
Yeah. Take your meatloaf.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out a way to lighten the mood, and for some reason, meatloaf came out.
I am hungry now, though. So you've accomplished something.
Here's the bad news: the things that you face in the game. Freddy, trademark. Who else?
Yeah.
I love how the Night Prowler is just a really angry cat.
Yeah, it's not it's not like a demonic cat or anything. It's just a cat.
It's just a really, really upset cat.
Mm.
I don't know. He doesn't really look that upset to me. He just kind of looks like he almost looks like he's smiling.
Yeah, maybe. Well, but you can tell by the hair standing up and the tail between its legs that it's really upset about something. Like you are unwelcome in its neighborhood.
And I like how they,
like you forgot to feed
and not
him.
just with Night Prowler with the cat, but some of these names, like they just refuse to call them by what they're typically called, like Shambler.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, it's a zombie.
I think at the time Universal still owned the property rights to. It was essentially Frankenstein's monster. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
But they could have. I thought they were. I just kind of considered them zombies.
Yeah, maybe.
And then you've got
And the Hound is just.
yeah,
Just
Did they own the property rights to Skeleton?
or Bat.
I don't think there were any sort of
Bat.
property rights on those, but yeah. I appreciate that they attempted creativity, but they failed on every level.
What can we name this?
The Hound's
skeleton?
just actually pretty. He's pretty chill. The Hound's like, yeah, I'm panting. I'm chill here. It's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, he just kind of
Looks
looks
tired.
like
He looks
wolf.
tired. Like he's been running.
a tired wolf. Somebody give that dog
Yeah.
some water.
Right?
All right, that's it for the manual.
All right.
So, like I said earlier, I was actually going into this knowing it was LJN and knowing it was going to be a movie property and probably I assumed it was going to be just like Friday the 13th. And it was a lot like Friday the 13th. But I was actually a little bit impressed. Now, take that with a grain of salt. Impressed meaning better than I expected, not actually good. So
When you come in with low standards,
Yeah, you've got that. Yeah.
it goes up pretty quick.
Yeah, it wasn't. I'll be honest here. I actually kind of had a bit of fun with it once you, like I said earlier, once you adjusted to the crap factor that is an LGN game. It was a fun challenge. It actually kind of reminded me of Dark Souls because you will die a lot, and once you actually beat a challenge, it's pretty rewarding.
Yeah. The only thing.
yeah, I mean, go ahead, Jason.
No, go ahead, Mike. I think you're gonna follow this coming up.
No, I was just going to agree with him.
The thing that frustrated me though on the levels is having to collect all the bones, and
Yeah, that's true. And they didn't really tell you you're supposed to collect
Yeah,
all the
and-
bones.
It's not readily apparent, but there's only one area that I noticed that where the bones weren't really obvious and weren't already on your way to the next portion of levels, so it wasn't too terrible.
yeah,
Yeah, well, see, it wouldn't be too terrible for somebody who naturally, when they play games, collects
Right.
everything. But a lot of times in games, I don't even really
Yeah.
try. I mean, unless I know it's for a
yeah.
reason, then I really don't. I'm not a collectathon kind of guy.
I'm a run
so-
and gun style. It's like the to give an example, like the worst for Super Mario 64 for me, the worst stars, the stars that I always got last, were the collect the 8 red coins. Like
I
cannot.
think everybody hates those.
I don't like to collect. It's just like, so that was an aspect that I wasn't really a big fan of. But to be honest with you, I thought the game was not bad. It was very playable. Unlike Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, you felt like you just wanted to put it up immediately after starting it, and this one wasn't bad.
Yeah, I think part of what helps that is that Freddy is not constantly after you necessarily, like
Mhm.
Jason was in Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I mean, you see Freddy, but he's normally like in a boss role, right?
Right.
Whereas in Friday the 13th, Jason was always around. I mean, he was always like on your heels, bugging the crap out of you, and you're so confused at what to do. Not to go back to Friday the 13th, but I'm just saying that this game is less confusing, although it's still confusing because you can't really figure out which doors you can go in or not.
Right.
But you're not constantly being pestered by
There's a
Freddy
little more-
the whole time while you're trying to figure out where
Yeah,
to
and
go.
there's a little more platforming. I mean, Friday the 13th pretty much didn't have anything. And is
Other than
not
trying
really.
to jump over zombie
Yeah.
heads.
Yeah, unless you were in the cave, really.
so
The cave is the only platforming sections. What I did like about this one was that the only time Freddy would harass you inside the levels itself was when you were asleep. So it was the only real deterrent you had for going to
Yeah.
sleep was Freddy coming out, and then that ridiculous screen, "Freddy's coming," with the trademark on it.
yes.
Which,
Yeah,
it
that's
would be
funny.
pretty sweet if it didn't have the ridiculous trademark.
You actually can't get away from that trademark anywhere in the game, in the manual, anywhere. Every time
Not
it
at
says
all.
Freddy, there's a little
Even
trademark.
this right here. I was going to wait to bring this up, but since we're talking about it, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to screen share this
Your daughter?
right here. The end screen.
Oh, I never
I got it, but I did see it when I was researching about this game. Well, first of all, there's some English going on, but also Freddy is trademarked. So the evil is purged, fire purifies all. The bones are ashes, soon to be dust. Freddy is dead, and the nightmare is ended. Or has it? So, Freddy trademarked there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I get that they have trademarks to file, but come on, guys. Really? You could at least just trademark the front screen and not every mention of him in the entire game. They probably dictated that.
Is Freddy really something you can trademark?
Just a
I mean,
name.
it's a guy's name.
But
I mean, I understand Nightmare on Elm Street, but
It's all in context, though.
so,
yeah.
what about the one thing that it's like, or has it? Of course, you say, well, that's opening up to a sequel that never happened. But can any horror movie just end? Like, it seems like every horror movie has to like have some kind of like little cliffhanger at the end of it. You know?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Every movie I've ever seen pretty much is just, is it really over? Is he really dead?
You see like some movement or something at the end, and it's like, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The obscenely ridiculous Saw franchise does this the best.
Yeah. Okay, Saw
Yeah.
18. Nope, still not over.
I think they finally ended it at 8.
God, that's so
Yeah.
many. My wife and I just watched like the first two
Yeah.
for
First,
Halloween.
the first one was excellent.
First one was
I'll give them
great.
that, but I just didn't watch after that.
First one was great. I saw
Well, we've only seen the first two. so.
Saw 2. Saw 2. And it was pretty good, I guess. It wasn't bad. But the first one, usually that's the way horror movies go.
They probably could have ended after that.
That's usually the way horror movies go.
I picture, I haven't seen but like the first two, but I picture like a downward exponential curve for the Saw movies. Like they just tank as far as quality and then just kind of level off.
That's
somewhere.
the way, like I said, that's just the way horror movies go, though, I think. The first one's always pretty much the best, and then they just bottom out. They just try to,
Just nosedive.
they just try to push it into the ground. The only movies that have gotten better with sequels, it's not a horror movie, is The Fast and the Furious, because they just get more and more ridiculous each time. And that's what you go in to see. That's what
fair.
you go in to see.
Yep. It's actually pretty funny that you mentioned that. I just picked up the entire collection, and the box set that they have, if you haven't seen it yet, is a freaking wheel.
Nice.
The case is a wheel. It's great. You got them at Best Buy for like $60. I picked it up on sale, and I have yet to regret that purchase.
I'm a huge fan of the
Actually-
of the Fast and Furious series, just because it's ridiculous. Like, and
Oh, yeah.
it's just ridiculous fun.
I actually haven't seen hardly any of those. I saw the
Oh,
first
man.
Oh
couple,
man,
maybe.
They're
so
fun.
they get better.
They did like some kind of Tokyo Drift thing, and that just,
Tokyo
that
Drift-
just killed it for me.
It was the weakest of the franchise.
Yeah.
However, I'm sorry.
I was
go
just
ahead.
gonna say Tokyo Drift wasn't their best.
It was the weakest of the franchise. But in context, it takes place in the future after the 6th movie. So if you look at it in context, it's actually not a bad film.
Yeah, and when The Rock shows up, it just the movies
Makes it so much
the
better.
Movies are just great once The Rock shows up.
He reinvigorated that franchise,
So,
which I think he showed up in 4
4
or 5.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So no, it wasn't 4.
Yeah, I think it was 5.
4 was when they went down to Mexico. 5 was when The Rock showed up, and they're off in some South American continent.
But the
So-
acting.
Welcome everybody to the Fast and the Furious podcast.
Oh, yeah, I guess we shouldn't. But yeah,
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna
Keep
say
going.
the acting is beautiful. It's just like there's a lot of one-liners, like "I live my life quarter mile at a time," and stuff like that. It's just great. So, anyway, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right. Back to this kind
I
of
thought
okay game.
I thought the music was
The music
pretty
was
awesome.
good. Yeah.
See, I'm on the other side of that. I was not a fan, especially when you get to the junkyard, which it was just a disorganized mess at that point. The rest of the music was okay though.
Okay. Though the junkyard, I can't quite think of what it is off the top of my head, but I thought there were some songs that were just okay and some songs that were actually
Yeah.
really good. That's kind of my opinion on it.
Well, and I think I know we keep comparing it to Friday the 13th, which I think is appropriate because those movies were always kind of rivals anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is exponentially better than the Friday the 13th music. The Friday the 13th music was so bad that this was just like,
It was the same thing over and over.
and
again.
it was like
It really was.
dagger music. It was just, it was awful. So, and they actually play a little homage. I don't ever remember hearing it, but I remember reading about it. They do the 1, 2, Freddy's Coming for You song at some point
Yep.
in the game. Yeah.
in the game.
Well, it's when you're asleep and Freddy's actually about to come for you. You know, when I was mentioning earlier about Freddy actually popping over and harassing you during the sleep portions, that's when they start playing. Is when he's right about to come up and come after you.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty cool. So,
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I guess I kind of can hear it now that I think about it. And the graphics were okay. I don't know if I watched a video of the 4-player, and it gets pretty ragged as far as slow down and pop in and flickering and stuff.
Yeah,
But when you're playing it 1-player, I thought the graphics were actually pretty decent. Really.
they did an okay job with the game. I'm not going to knock it. It's just that it's an LJN game and it immediately has that reputation of being utterly horrible.
Yeah, I know, and I kind of feel like this game gets a bad rap just because of that. More so than it probably deserves.
I can see that.
It's kind of like, I kind of feel the same way about Jaws. I know Justin agrees with me.
yeah.
I think there are a smattering of LGN games that if they were put on a different, under a different publisher and people didn't even know they were LGN games, then they probably wouldn't bash it as bad.
Probably.
I agree with that.
And I'd agree with Jaws as well. It's a pretty fun game.
We had some pretty fun times with Jaws growing up.
Yeah, we did. I think we talked about them on the Jaws episode.
We
Did
have
we
had
have
a
a Jaws
Jaws
episode? It's
episode.
been so long
Pete,
now.
that was actually like our 4th episode, and people were in an uproar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was like the first time we had done a bad game, and people were like, why are you guys doing a bad game?
Yeah.
Because it's about NES. It's not about good or bad games.
That's right.
It's just about the console, man. Come on.
We try to mix it up.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a whole lot else to say about this game, honestly, that I haven't already said.
Yeah, I haven't
Um,
either.
Justin, you got any last words?
No, I guess I've pretty much said everything I need to say.
I think that last little bit that we said pretty much sums it up. As far as this game, it's
Yeah.
pretty good. I would encourage people to give it a shot. Actually,
Yeah, if it's on Halloween, go for it. Have some fun.
I guess we need to do the. Is it worth it, Justin? Do you know
It was
how much
about,
this game is?
looks like the cheapest on Amazon used was about $8.
Okay, so you should be able to
Yeah.
find it pretty cheap. Yeah, I would say it's
yeah, I
worth
mean,
it.
100%.
$8, yeah, no, it's totally worth it.
$8. The shipping almost costs
Yeah.
more than that.
Yeah. No.
You know, the game we played last show, Legacy of the Wizard. I'm probably going to make a lot of people mad right now because I think I would rather play this game than Legacy of the Wizard.
Wow. I am impressed. That was one of my favorite games growing up too.
I know a lot of people like it, and I can see why
No, that's
people
fair.
like it, but I don't know. I just think I like this game better for some
That's
reason.
fair.
And it may just because I don't have the time to invest in Legacy of the Wizard.
Maybe.
This game doesn't take that
Yeah.
that investment. But anyways, so there you go. I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
All right, we got any trophies?
I got a couple.
Okay. Go ahead and start us off. Then,
First one's
Justin.
Snake Charmer, and that is kill 10 snakes by punching them in the face.
Okay, that's good. You got any, Paul?
Go away, you bleeping stone dropper. And that is to kill the bats dropping, kill like 10 or 20 bats dropping stones.
Is that what's dropping the stones? I just thought they were just falling from the sky.
Well, it depends on the situation. In later levels, like if in the junkyard and in Freddy's house, you'll find bats dropping stones and just following you around. It's really, really irritating.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't like the stones falling from the sky. I'm going to go with... I didn't come up with any. I thought I could come up with one on the spot.
All right, I got one.
I may come up with one before you guys.
I got one. This is a little throwback to one of mine and Mike's favorite bands, Dim Bones, and that is actually
Nice.
beat the game. Collect all the bones, beat the game.
Nice.
Put them in the incinerator.
This is
Cool.
one of my favorite
Yeah.
bands as well.
Nice. I like Alice in Chains stuff. We actually listened to it last night.
Yeah.
A little bit. My
Sweet.
wife and I. It was good times. Rooster's probably in my top, one of my
That's a
top
great
10 songs
song.
of all time. So
I
good.
listen to it
Yeah.
all the time.
You
So good.
Yeah. Okay.
actually kind of borrowed one of my achievements, and that would have been Edward Scissorhands, which would be
Oh, yeah?
to beat the game.
Nice.
Edward Scissorhands question mark.
I thought you were going to say like Snuff the Rooster, and that is beat Freddy.
No, that would have been worth. That would have been a good one too. There you go. You came up with your achievement.
Okay, there's mine. Snuff the Rooster. That's cool. Kill Freddy. It only works in the context of this show, but that's fine.
True enough. Although he does wear red.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, I just made this one up, and I like it. This one is actually a non-achievement trophy. This is fall asleep and get killed by Freddy. And that is, I'm going to call it No Freddy trademark.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, I've got another one then. It is Dreamweaver, and that is fall asleep while playing this game in real life.
Wow.
Oh,
So
It's,
okay.
Yeah. I've actually, I could actually see myself doing that if I was sitting in bed doing this.
yeah, see there you go. So Dreamweaver.
If you fall asleep playing
But you
this
gotta
game,
sing
what
it,
are the
like,
what's going to happen to you? I'd be afraid.
well,
Freddy might
depends-
come.
8-bit Freddy comes and kills you.
That's right.
Yes.
That
Freddy
or-
invades your dreams.
Or even worse, burn in on your
Oh
screen.
no.
That would be awful.
So that's all I got.
All right, anybody?
Yeah, I don't have much else,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay, let's rate it. Let's give it a rating.
Let's see.
Justin, Dream.
A dream. Let's see. We could do dream.
Okay. Is this like a dream that people typically have, or like a dream that we've actually had?
It could be either or.
Okay. All right. Go ahead then.
I'm gonna go with a clown dream because it can either be good or it could be bad. Because clowns can either make you happy or try to kill you. And for this game, it's kind of
Okay.
like there's really
Or
good
both.
there's good aspects about it, and there's really bad aspects about it. So
Fair enough.
Okay. So, and it could all happen within the
Right.
same dream. You know, the clown could be making you happy, making you laugh,
Yeah.
and then try to kill
he
you.
makes you
Yeah,
a
I'm not a fan of
he
clowns.
makes you a balloon animal sword, and then stabs you to death with it.
See,
There
see
you
a clown dream for me would just be all bad. I can't stand clowns.
So, no good in clown dreams.
No, not at all. It's all clown cheese for me.
Okay, my dream is going to be a false awakening dream. You know, it's one of those where you're in the dream and you think you wake up, but you're still in the dream.
Now, here's the
Because-
most fun part: is that
Huh?
those always happen in Freddy movies.
I know.
Perfect.
Right? So that's
perfect.
It's a two-part, not trophy, but two-part rating for me. So that happens in the Freddy movies all the time, and this game. I feel like it's kind of like you get this sensation of like accomplishment, but then you realize that there's still so much left to do, and then you die, and then it's kind of like false accomplishment as well in this game. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Right, Paul, you guys a rating? A dream rating?
Let's see. I would think the whole naked during taking a test dream. Yeah, that's something everybody has, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have this sort of embarrassment that you're enjoying it. How's that?
There you go. That's perfect. It's embarrassing to enjoy this game. Works for me. We didn't get any feedback. I forgot. One, it was a short shrift here, but I also forgot, so I didn't post feedback. So apologies out there. And I don't think we have a phone call, but the person was Ivan, as usual. Our call me lately, Ivan. He left us. He may have actually left us 2 voicemails, but one of which he immediately emailed me afterwards and said, "Don't play this on the show. It's not exactly funny."
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Fair enough.
He said we could, if we ever do another next Patreon, we could probably do it because it's really not that bad. But I'd probably be best to keep it out of the normal show. But it is really funny, so can't play that one. But he did send us another one. He says he has a bone to. Google Voice says, "Hello, dude. This is Ivan, and I'm afraid I have a bone to pick with you."
No.
So,
all right.
I didn't screen this one. So let's see what this is.
Well, at least he didn't email you until you can't play it.
Hello, dudes. This is Ivan, and I'm afraid I've got a bone to pick with you. You see, I just downloaded your latest episode expecting to get another stellar Two Dudes podcast. And what do I get assaulting my ears but those hosers from Genesis Germs? I think to myself, it's got to be a mistake. I must have clicked on the wrong podcast, but I go back and check, and the episode is definitely from the Two Dudes. I knew you wouldn't do this to us on purpose. Could the germs packed you? Now, I'm sure you guys are saying try and go download it again, and you should hear Legacy of the Bromance. But I got to say, I got no internet at home. I have to drive 30 minutes into town to get online, so it just ain't happening. Very disappointing, dudes. Makes me feel like I did the time I got home from McDonald's and found out they give me a hot dog. Oh, well. Better luck next time, dudes.
That happens.
Throwback to a joke.
Nice throwback, Ivan.
A long time ago. So, Paul, we used to have this. Back when we were in like late middle school, early high school, and prank calling was fun. A friend of ours would call the McDonald's and say that he ordered a quarter pounder, and when he got home, it was a hot dog. And they would be like really apologetic and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know how that happened." And it's like,
and they really don't know how it happened.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. What was that? The Dane Cook thing where he said order something off the menu that's not really there. Only this was a tell them you got something off the menu that's not really there. So,
that's fair.
It's funny. They'd always say, "Bring it back in, and we'll make this right." And he's like, "I can't bring it back in. I live 30 minutes out of town."
It was great.
It's good stuff. So thanks for that throwback, Ivan. And I'm not sure which episode he's talking about that had the Genesis gems on. So we never.
No,
did that.
I think what it is one of the episodes I used a intro.
Oh, I see.
Somebody said this is the Genesis Gems podcast, and then it was like, oh no, it's not, and whatever. So I think that's what happened.
So we did get hacked. We did get hacked.
Well then,
yeah.
So thanks, Ivan, for the call. That was excellent, most excellent. I'm kind of sad that we didn't get any feedback, but
yeah, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's a short time between podcasts. You really can't complain too much, I guess.
This is why we went to 2 weeks instead of 1.
To get more.
To get more feedback, more time with the games and stuff. Although we didn't really need that much more time with this game.
And it is a special episode. It's Halloween.
It's a special episode. It's Halloween. Yep. So we had to get that one out.
Right.
So, Paul, tell people a little bit more about your show and mainly where do they find it. Of course, it gets to YouTube. But
Yep,
you know.
yep. Yeah, just go to YouTube, search for What's Paul Playing Today. I will mind you that it is not as family-friendly as Two Dudes in an S. I curse a lot, and I hope you guys appreciate that I haven't cursed at all during this episode. I made sure to keep that rated G. So there is a lot of foul language because, for one, I'm playing Dark Souls. If you go to the Twitch channel, I am going to curse. I guarantee it. There's a lot of it. You can probably.
That's why we don't talk while we play the games.
Yeah. I can't blame you on that one. It's twitch.tv/RAZOKKULL. I will be changing that soon, but for now, that's where you can find me. Just search for What's Paul Playing Today on YouTube, and you'll find a whole bunch of fun stuff there. I am pretty excited. There's some new stuff coming on the horizon. I am starting up a new website with a friend of mine. It's called Loaded Cart Gaming. If you head over to facebook.com/loadedcartgaming, there's going to be a bunch of cool stuff happening really soon.
Sweet. We'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/loadedcartgaming. Right?
Awesome.
Yep, you betcha.
Sweet. Let's see, what else, Justin? I guess we got some stuff we could say about our show.
Listen to our show.
Yes.
There you go. All right.
Listen to Two
I will
Dudes.
say, I would like to give a couple of little shout-outs because of
Okay.
Patreon people, and I'd like to mention a couple things as far as Patreon goes, too. One being, I'd like to remind everybody of what they've done with the Patreon, you know? We kind of gloss over all the cool things that have happened since we started the Patreon. But one is, eventually we started doing advertising on the show because we were trying to cover our domain costs and hosting costs and stuff. And so we had ads going for a little while on the show, and then we started the Patreon, and we cut that out because we don't need to do that anymore. So there's one thing that you Patreon people do. There's no more ads. No ads. The ads lasted for 5 episodes
not
maybe,
much at all.
and then we didn't have to do them anymore. The other thing is our audio quality has taken a huge spike because we got Justin some gear.
Thank
some
you.
Sweet gear. And we did. We had a junk box that we're continuing to do. It'll be going back around. It's finally came back to me, so it's going to go back around again. An
Sweet.
NES junk box, all sweet NES stuff. And we've been giving out games, not every show, but most shows we've been giving out the game the best we can. And I honestly didn't. I haven't had time to get the game, but I'd like to give this one out because it's not super expensive. We could probably afford to give this one out. Yeah. So we should be able to give this one out. And so that's a pretty sweet list of things that we've been able to do thanks to Patreon. So thanks again to the Patreon people. A couple of new ones that we've gotten. There's our train. Everybody's got a train, right?
I see.
You're not a good
right,
podcast
right.
unless you have a train.
I see Trainsy has moved over to Two Dudes instead of going on Tadpog.
Yeah. They switched. They moved places. We moved into their old place. So.
Makes sense.
So I'd just like to thank Tom Foreman, a recent Patreon contributor, Gamercast, Rob and Jay. Of course, we donated $1 to them. They just turned around and donated $1 to us. I guess it's just kind of like a mutual
You're breaking even.
admiration there, And Ivan, of course, Ivan has donated to us now. And Craig Hessel, Bob Sestodio, and James Elliott are all some newer Patreon contributors. Thank you guys. Definitely heartfelt thank you. We appreciate that. That's pretty much it. You want to shout out any of the retro junkies? Don't shout out Genesis Gems.
Not showing that.
Go ahead and shout out
Retro
someone else.
Obscura.
Yeah,
Or-
I like those guys.
Well, maybe
Good people.
Turtle Flakes, although they are. I think they're refusing to come to our
No, let's
show.
not shout them out either. Yeah, they were. I don't know what the deal is. They just don't like us anymore, I guess. Not only do they refuse to come on our show, but a few episodes of theirs ago, right before they started to do our show, they were like, "Hey, we're going to do another show with NES
Right.
dudes, right?" Or Two Dudes. They actually announced it on their show. They said, "We're going to do it," and then they've not ever mentioned it again on their show. It's like they're kind of trying to slowly make us disappear.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
Whatever.
It's fine.
sad.
It's fine. I understand. Rob, I'm assuming it's Rob, not Josh, because Josh likes us. I think Josh likes
Rob
us.
doesn't
I think it's
like
Rob
us.
that doesn't like us.
Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah. It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, so... Ugh.
There's a bunch of news shows and stuff on the Retro Junkies also, so it's become so hard to keep up with who all is in the Retro Junkies. So I would recommend just going to theretrojunkies.com.
Right.
I think it's
I would pull it up, but my internet moves so incredibly slow when Google Hangouts is running.
It's theretrojunkies.com.
Yeah.
Trust me. So go to theretrojunkies.com. There's sweet stuff there. You go to the podcast tab and you can scroll down like forever because there's like 40 podcasts. So
Dang.
and there's articles and videos and stuff like that too. So
Okay.
That's all I got.
Well, you can find us, the two dudes, at twodudesandans.com, nesdudes.com, and nintendudes.com. You can also find us on any social media like Facebook and Twitter, and you can always call us like Sir Ivan does at
775-773-8761. Or how else can they call us, Justin?
775-7-RETRO-1.
That's right. I think that's
Yeah.
everybody's favorite. I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
It's a lot of
'Cause,
sevens.
Yeah, lots of sevens. Seven. It's good. It's a lucky
Yeah.
number, right? Lucky 7. You call us and you get entered in a chance to win. Good luck
Nice.
nice.
for the day.
Just that day, though.
Yeah, just that day. You have to call us every day to get the good
Yeah.
luck for the day. Entered in for a chance to win good luck for the day every day that you call us.
We'll be announcing the winner of Good Luck next episode.
Yep.
Do you have like a backlog of those 7 days, or I guess 14 days between episodes?
Yeah, we'll be like,
Yeah.
well, you're
Yeah.
welcome
All right,
for
then.
your good luck.
So far it's been Ivan. Every time Ivan calls, he just wins the good luck.
That's its default.
Yeah, I think Atari Man won some good luck one time.
Dude Jay gets some good
nice.
luck around him.
Yeah, Dude Jay gets some good luck every now and then. I mean, there's not a lot of people that call, so it's easy to pick the winner. You know, just if you call, you pretty much get the good luck. So,
Fair enough.
All right.
all right. Well, thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul, for coming on.
Oh, I appreciate you guys for having me.
Thanks for coming on, yeah. It's been a good show.
It has. It has.
All right. I guess the next game. Oh, we did need to mention, Justin, one more thing. We're going to take another little break, like we always do. This is actually the last episode of season 3. This is
Teeter is aggravated.
So we're going to take a little break. I will say, Teeter does not like that.
Yeah.
That's my dog.
Yes.
She does not like the idea of taking a break.
She's quite upset.
But no, there's probably somebody walking by the house. You know how she is. If they walk by the house, she hates the walkers.
Walking Dead.
Jerks.
So we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back. But I did want to also say that even though we're taking a break, I don't want to leave the Patreon people out. So Justin and I will record a few episodes during the break as just just talking. We'll just record ourselves talking or something, just talking about random things. Yeah. So that the Patreon people can still get. I would hate for we always take breaks, right? About once a year we take a break, and I just don't want to take a break, and then the Patreon people will still be contributing.
Maybe talk about what else you get in playing. Like
we can
talk about some
what
modern
else.
stuff.
Yeah. But we'll be back. Probably give us a few weeks break, a week to a month break, and then we'll be back. Just in time for Christmas.
Can't miss
Perfect.
Christmas episodes. Last year's was epic.
No. It was pretty epic. I don't know if we'll be able to top it, but we'll try.
Of course you will. Gotta have the positive attitude, right?
That's right. All right. Well, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Thanks again, guys.